Hello, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I am still recovering from the eclipse. You can't see me. Just kidding. But shout out to Caitlin Clark in Iowa. And then we have the men's basketball tournament this evening. Okay, starting out with ES, we have an 8-hour lower high, lower low, lower high. And we continue to EQ out on this side. And I don't know if the question as to what's going to happen over here is going to be answered tomorrow or Wednesday. We have enough room to make a higher low on the 8-hour and a lower high, and that would make sense into Wednesday's CPI. So Wednesday's CPI is our big event. Tomorrow we have Red Book, 3-year note auction, and API crude oil estimates at 4:30 Eastern. But overall, a pretty boring day. We have Tilray earnings per trading view tomorrow morning before open. So we don't have a lot of things going on before Wednesday, and then Thursday's PPI, and then Friday bank earnings crank up. And then looking at the heat map, it was definitely a mixed bag today, and we saw that in the market with the chop. It was a very choppy day, and it's so important to notice early on when you have daily inside bars. So the yellow candles mark inside bars, and when you have inside bars, the sooner that you can notice it, the better, and you're like, wait a minute. What happens on inside bars? We have volume go down. Look at SPY volume, 38 million, and the average is 70 million. Okay, so we know the volume goes down. And so when volume goes down, liquidity dries up, and you're constantly bulls and bears probing liquidity to the upside and downside. And we have a lot of misdirection on shorter term time frames. And okay, if I get rid of these stupid sunglasses, love you. So what do you mean misdirection on 5 minute? Well, if you could draw a map of misdirection on 5 minute, it would be this chart right here. We're moving up, we drop down, lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low. And it's just constant misdirection, and that happens when volume dries up and we have these daily inside bars. QQQ was about half the average volume. Super low volume. Was everybody out watching the sun, or is everybody just saying, hey, Thursday's range was huge with the geopolitical news that came out, and now Friday we stayed in that range, and then today we were eclipsed by that range. Sorry, I hate myself for using that pun. Okay, so IWM did not follow suit, however. It broke the high of Friday. It was a little bit stronger than the other names. VIX, we had fear exit stage right as soon as it came in. Now on the next bounce, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high on VIX. So VIX does have a daily uptrend. However, we are looking for a 4-hour lower high to possibly restore some bearishness in this chart. Bitcoin had a great day. Look at the squeeze on the daily chart. It's just beautiful. Beautiful chart. No problems with the Bitcoin chart. Stay on back burner watch and just keep elevating or increasing your time frame. If 5 minute no longer works, then go to the 15 minute. Coin had a big, beautiful day. Coin is not as impacted. The miners get impacted a little more because they have dilution, where Coinbase is just a pure broker, not a miner. So they do have a little bit of differentiation. It really showed up in their chart. And Coin had an upgrade today, and we held above Friday's high. Mara was weak as we closed down below. Oh, we still have 1 minute to close, but we're closing below Friday's low. Riot is holding above Friday's low. We have the dollar that is in an hourly downtrend and 4-hour in a downtrend. GDX had a great gap up, but we gave up Friday's high pretty quickly, and it was a blow off top and a nice chance to short. It was one of my Queen of the Mountain shorts this morning, and it ended up having a nice little rising wedge. I'm not bearish gold overall. It was a day trade concept. Gold's holding up better than miners, which we know miners are impacted by gold and SPY. We have oil with a potential 12-hour head and shoulders. Let's see if that's still valid. Maybe 8 hours. Yeah, I got it wrong. 8 hours. Oil has potential 8-hour 4 hour, my goodness. It's been a long day, y'all. I've had a lot of shows. This is my 5th video today, 4 live streams and a video. So it's actually the dollar that has the 12-hour head and shoulders, and oil has the 4-hour head and shoulders. That has not played out yet. Everything could still work out fine for the bulls. They're not in trouble. The only thing on this daily chart is you don't like these upper wicks of profit taking. All right, let's take a look at Apple. Apple remains weak. We did hold 168.23 by a penny. I think that we just have to hold on to that with all of our fingernails, and if that's lost, we just need to continue to back away from Apple and say bulls prove it, because bulls have not proven a thing. Microsoft broke over the high of Friday without follow through over the high of Thursday, but held up pretty good today, pretty well. Tesla was an outperformer today. We broke over Friday's high and we held up. We had Musk come out in the middle of the night saying that he's going to have robo-taxis coming out later in the year. And Tesla has a potential daily falling wedge, and it has a monthly double bottom at 160.51 to the penny. Taking a look at semis. So semis held up well today, right under Friday's low and above Friday's closing price. They held up okay. On the daily chart, a lower high is still the more likely scenario compared to 22981. AMD not looking very strong at all. Potential, maybe daily bear flag is the more accurate description. Potential daily bear flag. And on the weekly, we are looking for a higher low relative to 161.81. Bulls need to put that in sooner than later. ARM had some type of news. I'm not clear as to what it was at the end of day today. I thought initially that it was just a 15-minute EQ bull break. The volume was a little more suggestive of news. I'm not sure. Oh gosh, didn't have this by my mouth the whole time. Sorry about that. So ARM closed really strong. Intel closed super weak. NVIDIA closed weak, but still holding the low of Friday. SMCI was butting up against the low of Friday, so it did lose Friday. And on the daily chart, this could still be a head and shoulders. We don't need to get too romanticized with SMCI. ACB had some pretty big moves at the end of day, but overall kind of stayed contained between the high of day and 661. CGC looked very similar to ACB, spike, EQ, and then a dribble to the side. Cron, dribble to the side. That's a terrible word, but doesn't it seem appropriate? GRWG closed near the low of day and the low of Friday. At this point, I'd call it a double bottom, 266, 264. ATAI cleared the high of Friday, closing a little bit stronger than others. MNMD, nothing special out of it today. MSOS, we were above Friday's high of 10.15 initially, but we could not get a close above that area. On the daily chart, we still have some work to do. Daily higher low is set. Now, do we get a lower high or a higher high compared to 1096? Tilray has this high compression squeeze that I was calling out toward the end of day. We broke this 15-minute EQ bullish without a ton of follow through, but I'm very interested in this high compression squeeze on the hourly and 30-minute chart going into tomorrow. So I will have that on my Queen of the Mountain list. XLF, we closed over the high of Friday. We do have bank earnings at the end of this week that will likely impact this chart heavily. And then healthcare continues to stay weak, well below the daily 50 MA. So a lot of weakness on the healthcare front. All right, that's it for the market recap.